Oh, welcome back, folks, to the Stephen King Reviews. I'm Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown, all published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. You know, if you've been following my channel for the last 6 months, I was reviewing every Stephen King novel in order of publication. For the first 4 months, March, April, May, June, I reviewed 33 Stephen King novels in order of publication. I'm telling you, I got burnt out on Stephen King. So if you've been watching my channel for the last few months, because about 3 months have gone by now since I have picked up a Stephen King book, because I was reading 10 of those things a month for my reviews. And I'm telling you, Stephen King, he's my mainest man. He's my mainest man. He's my dude. He's my guy, my favorite author of all time. And I never thought I would say it, but you can get burnt out on the guy, especially if you binge read 33 of his first 33 novels in the span of 3 months. It's a little bit of overload. I remember when I was reading, if you saw my reviews of The Langoliers and The Sundog and The Library Policeman, you could just tell I was struggling to get through 4 past midnight because I had been reading Stephen King so much. I just was so disinterested. And those reviews and the ratings for those books probably reflected the fact I had Stephen King burnout. So, you live and learn. Gotta slow down. I gotta slow my roll. Got to slow my roll with the Stephen King thing. I mean, I set a goal to review every Stephen King novel, all 90 of them, for my channel in order of publication, so they would be there on my channel for all time and eternity for everyone's enjoyment. All of my reviews. And man, I charged into the project with a go-getter attitude, and I was blazing away, loving what I was doing, and then it just... Stephen King overload. Please keep in mind, I'm not bagging on the author. I love him. He's my favorite author of all time. I got burnt out, as if I haven't explained it enough already in this video. Let's talk about, it's been 3 months. I picked up The Wastelands, book 3 in the Dark Tower, because that's where I am chronologically in the order of publications. So I finally picked up another Stephen King novel to read it, to get back into my Stephen King groove, although we'll be going a little slower now through the reviews, if you can take it. You know, also, if you've been following my reviews, and we'll get to the book here soon enough, let's just talk about the channel a little bit, and these Stephen King reviews. These Stephen King reviews, if you had watched the last dozen or so of them, you'd notice they'd become haunted. For instance, things would fall down in the set. Different parts of my set would fall over. Things would catch fire. I mean, creepy things were starting to happen. Creepy things. Like, stuff was floating through the air. I have these Motley Crue Funko Pops over here. Some of those guys were acting up in weird ways, just like Chucky. They were like little Chucky dolls, just doing their own creepy stuff. And so I just had to, there was a multitude of reasons I had to shut the Stephen King reviews down for a little while, because we had to exercise this room. We had to exercise the set to get rid of the bad spirits, the evil spirits that my Stephen King reviews had brought down into my library, quite frankly. I mean, the place had become haunted. The cat would no longer come in this room because of this weird setup I've got, this weird little shrine. Anyway, let's get to, and let's hope that just nothing else, goes wrong with the set. Let's hope that there's no more strange things happening with the set, okay? I got a few whoa! You know, just as soon as I say things, you know, it's nonstop. It's nonstop, folks. I don't even know what to say. I knew the Vince Neil guy had a problem with the rest of the band. I didn't think they'd kick him out that soon. Anyway, The Wastelands, The Dark Tower Book 3. So I've been also, as I've been reading these, I've been listening to them on audible.com. The audible.com narrator, I follow along in the book as I listen to the audible.com narration. The audible.com narration of this was done by Frank Mueller. He does all of the Dark Tower books. He does a great job with this one too. No complaints. You know, let's just get it off. This book was put out in 1991. The Wastelands is based off, the title of the book is based off a T.S. Eliot poem of the same title. And, you know, it starts out with our gunslinger Roland and the two characters that we met in the previous book, the Susanna and Eddie, and they start off in their sort of alternate universe. We're talking about alternate universes here. They are in the Gunslingers universe now. Eddie and Susanna have been pulled from Earth, and they are now in the Gunslingers universe, and they meet up with the cyborg bear, which is one of the more memorable scenes in all of the Dark Tower series, is their fight with the Shardik, the cyborg bear, this massive, huge bear. And they fight him, blah, blah, blah. No spoilers, I won't give it away. But it's great. It's great, you know. It's one of the most memorable scenes in the Dark Tower story. And then we go on and we get a little bit of schooling in the mystical, you know, there's the six mystical beams that hold kind of the world together, that hold all the alternate universes together. And there's 12 portals with 12 guardians. Roland, the gunslinger, sort of schools us in this aspect of the world. So we get some world building here that we haven't heard before. And, you know, it's really cool. You know, there's alternate universes. That's what you know, I've always, you know, the string theory says there's alternate universes out there, folks, and there's billions and billions of different versions of us and different stories of us. And, you know, in some of those versions, I, myself, am probably much more rich and handsome and famous than I am right now. In some of those versions, I might be even worse off than I am now. Some of those versions, I probably, you know, married Scarlett Johansson. Poor Scarlett. In that universe, may I just say, I apologize, Scarlett Johansson, that you have to be married to me in that universe. But it is what it is. I'm sure I'm happy in that universe. But in the Gunslinger universe, we've got all these different strings of universes kind of interlocking, and then the Dark Tower sort of is the center of it, holding it all together. And that is the Gunslinger's main quest, you know, to reach the Dark Tower. Anyway, we get kind of the world building on that, where the gunslinger describes that to us. Well, he actually is describing it to Eddie and Susanna. And anyway, the gunslinger's like, well, in all these different universes, I've been in a lot of these universes, and I'm like, I don't know what's real and what's not. Like, there was this boy, Jake Chambers, that I met in one of the universes, which we find out is the original Gunslinger novel. I don't know if I've met this guy or not. I don't know if he's real or not, this kid. Because in some universes he's alive, some universes he's not. We've got to find him because he's part of our quest. So they jump, and so then we jump to 1977 in America, New York City. In this universe where Jake Chambers is living, and Roland and Eddie and Susanna cross through the beams, and they go to this universe and they try to pull Jake Chambers into their universe to continue on their quest for the Dark Tower. That's the basic gist of the story. And at the end of the story, there's a train that makes you solve riddles, kind of like Gollum made Frodo solve riddles. There's a train that makes you solve riddles, or it'll blow up. It's kind of like the novel Speed, you know, or not the novel, the movie Speed, where, you know, you can't go below 55 or the bus will blow up. Well, if you don't solve all my riddles, the train's going to blow up, kind of a thing. That's just a great, it's one of the better, I'm going to be honest with you, book 4, Wizard and Glass, every time I read through the Dark Tower series, it's a low point for me. And when I go, and it's going to be in about 10 books I'll get to, and, you know, reading these chronologically, Wizard and Glass will be about 10 books from now. And when I get to it, I'm really going to try to concentrate on it this time to see if I can find something that I like in that book. It's one of, I mean, like I said, 90 Stephen King books, 85 or 85 of those books I love. There's a few that I just don't like at all. And Wizard and Glass was one of them. So, and it follows this one. So when I get to Wizard and Glass, we'll see. We'll see how that review goes. That'll be just as anticipate that review when it comes. But this book, The Wastelands, is actually one of the better Dark Tower books. I thought it's great from start to finish. It's not quite as strong as the drawing of the three. I think it is better than the Gunslinger itself. I give Wastelands a solid 8 out of 10. I digged it. I dug it. It's great to be back reading Stephen King after a 2.5 month hiatus. Next book on the plate is Needful Things. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, that's one of my favorite Stephen King books, so I can't wait to get back into that one. Needful Things coming up next. 8 out of 10, The Wastelands. Now, I finish all of these Stephen King reviews by saying, Stephen King, our mainest man right here, Stephen King, Motley Crue, and the Oakland Raiders. I give them a shout out. Every book I write is dedicated to Stephen King, Motley Crue, the Oakland Raiders. I give them a shout out in every book. And I give them a shout out in every one of my Stephen King reviews. 8 out of 10, The Wastelands, folks. Hopefully my next video, crap won't be following. I gotta figure out what's happening in this room. Because, 8 out of 10, folks. The Wastelands.